Hello friends, Jai Hind. I hope you enjoyed our previous class. Even if you didn't enjoy, please uh, try to enjoy because you have to prepare for your exams. So now we will continue with our story. Okay. In our previous story, we learned how money came into existence, how the currency came into existence in the form of coins. Earlier it was barter system, then the barter system changed to something which is rare and acceptable by all. And because it was not acceptable by a large area of population, something which is acceptable in one geographic area was not acceptable in some other geographic area. That was the reason why the people went to their governments, and the governments decided that from henceforth, commodities like salt, silk, cotton, commodities will not be used as currency. Instead, the government started using precious metals like gold and silver as currency. So this is the story of currency so far, which we have discussed in our previous class. Today we will take our class a little further. We will continue the story. What happened afterwards? So government started minting gold coins. Now, time passed, thousands of years passed. For thousands of years, the same currency, this system persisted for thousands of years. It was in fact a very good system because the coins made of precious metal perfectly fulfilled both requirements of a currency. That is, they were rare, they were not easily available or easily able to be manufactured by anyone, and they were acceptable by all. Now, coming to the new world order, what happened was the problem started coming with the government, not with the people. People were very happy with this. Government started having problem because it was a responsibility of the government to mint these coins, to extract the precious metal from the earth and mint these coins and then distribute these coins and all. So, but the government thought that it's a very lengthy and cumbersome process, and who wants to take all this headache? The governments came in a false sense of confidence in their minds and told that from now onwards, what you do is you keep the currency with you, or else you can give the currency to us, that is the government. We will keep the currency safely with us in the vault, in the bank, what do you say? Okay, in the bank, and we will issue a receipt. It will be stamped receipt. It will be on a stamp paper. It will not be a normal receipt. It will not be a normal copy. It will be a stamped receipt. It will be issued along with the stamp paper, along with the signed signature seal of the king or the governor or any person who is having a very high authority in the government. So, what that receipt will mean is that that receipt will do the same function as that of your gold coin or your coin minted currency. Okay. So, the people believe the government, of course, most of people till date also people believe their governments because in most of countries people only elect their governments. So people believe their governments, and what they did was, again it was a very cumbersome process to keep so much money with you. That is, suppose if you look at the point of view of a common man, if you have got say 1,000 gold coins, if you keep those gold coins in your home or say even in your bank, at that time the concept of bank was not there. Even if you keep a gold coin in your home, it was not safe. You risked the gold coin, you could risk your life also. Some thief may come and take away the gold coin or kill you for that. So at that time the concept of bank was a very primitive thing. Nobody gave their money to someone else just on the belief that he will be keeping it safely. Nobody trusted so much anyone. So but since this was the government, people trusted them. And what they did was they told, okay, this money lying in our house is a risk for us also, is a risk for our family also. Why don't we give it to the government? The government will keep its safely and issue us a stamped receipt. And that receipt will, as the government told, that receipt will do the same function as that of the money. So if you give that receipt to someone, he will be giving us our food, our items, whatever transaction, whatever thing we need to purchase, we could use through that receipt. And that receipt was what was called as legal tender, because it was simply legal means because it was made on a stamp paper. So slowly and steadily, what these people realized about this, and people started giving their money to the government. Government used to keep it safely in the treasury or the vaults or the banks, whatever, and used to give a receipt. Earlier, they used to give a single receipt. Suppose if you give them, say, 1,000 gold coins, they will give you a single receipt of 1,000 gold coins. But then, if you go for purchasing, as I told the example of mangoes, suppose if you go and purchase 1 kg mangoes, how are you going to transact? How are you going to give him? Are you going to give him that receipt of 1,000 gold coins to him? No, it would be, the mango would be hardly, say, 2 or 3 gold coins. So these to remove these sort of practical difficulties, government started issuing tenders in the form of money and currency denominations. That is, they started issuing tenders of, say, 10, 20, 1, 5, like that. That is, coins were also minted, but the value of coins was kept very low, because the government told that don't keep so much coins with you, keep the legal tender with you, keep the precious coins with the government. So this was how the denominations came into existence. One interesting another trivia I tell you. This story, what does is, it tells you, what does it teaches you? It teaches you that the real currency, the actual currency is the coin. The actual currency is the coin, and it is not the note that is lying in your pocket. The note lying in your pocket is just a legal tender. It's just a document signed by the governor stating that we have got this much money, your money, this much we are having with us. And if you bring, see, if you take 100 rupees to the RBI governor is supposed to pay you 1 rupee coin, or say 52 rupee coins. So, actual currency is the coin, not the notes. But still, I see many ignorant people telling that we will not accept 10 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin. But that is the actual currency. You are refusing to accept. Okay. Anyways, it's strange how the minds of people work. So this is how from gold coins it came to legal tender, and from legal tender it came into denominations. Okay. Now another problem started coming. Governments became greedy. Suppose if you are depositing 1,000 gold coins with the government, and the government is giving you, say, 1 lakh rupees. Just an example. Okay, government has fixed that 1,000 gold coins would be worth 1 lakh rupees. Government gave you that. Now, this 1 lakh rupees is backed by 1,000 gold coins. Gold is a universally accepted metal which can be used as a medium of exchange. So, there is value, this 1 lakh rupees is backed by these 1,000 gold coins which are lying in the vault of the government. But then, what the government started to do, not just one government, all the governments of the world, what they started to do was, they started printing more money. There was a reason for this, not just, we were not printing uselessly. The reason was that, one was greed, the people in the government wanted to keep some money with them, utilize it. See, the public is not going to know whether the money in the circulation is actually backed by real gold deposits or not. So, government started printing money, and when the public realized that no, the gold deposits are of, say, only 1,000 gold coins and the government has printed 10 lakh rupees. So what happens? As I told in my previous class, anything which is not rare, which is abundant, loses its value. So like this is how the present money, the present legal tender which we know, started losing its value. Because the government started printing more money. Why the government started printing money? There is a legitimate reason also. As the population increases, the economy increases. Suppose if today there are 10 workers, 10 years from now the population would increase to say 20 workers, and those 20 workers will also require wages to be paid, salaries to be paid, they will also require money. So for that the government has to print extra money. So if you print extra money, see, printing extra money is not wrong. You have to understand this concept. You can print any amount of money provided it is backed by an equal amount of either anything that is valuable or it is backed by a growth in the economy. That is, if the economy is growing and then you are printing money so as to compensate for that, so as to pay the people who have been added into the economy, that is perfectly fine. That is the reason why we study the concept of GDP. GDP tells us a rough overview about our economy. So if our economy is growing say 6% per year, we should increase our money supply by more or less that amount. If the economy is growing by 6% and if we increase our money supply by 60%, it's going to go down. Finish. So we have to ensure that the money that we use, the currency that we use, meets the two basic requirements of currency. That is that it has to be rare, it has to be accepted by all. It would be accepted by all because of course they are bound by the government. But to maintain its rarity, to maintain that the currency becomes and remains rare, it is up to the government. The government should not unnecessarily print currency. And that is the reason why all the modern world economic problems, this is the basis, this is the foundation on which the problems have started. Because in the now you would have heard about the term gold standard. This term actually comes from this. That is, in US, the governments used to maintain a reserve of gold and they used to value that gold, and based on that value they used to print the currency. That is the reason why it is termed gold standard thing. That is, the entire economy of the world was valued by comparing it with the amount of gold reserves kept in the country. But in around the 70s, Richard Nixon, the US president, removed dollar from the gold standard. That is, what he told was, we don't need to keep any reserves of gold with us. We are the government, we are very powerful, we are the rulers. So the public has to trust us, and the money that we print, you keep trusting us. मेरे ऊपर भरोसा रखो, मैं बैठा हूँ ना, ये currency सबको accept करना पड़ेगा. Everyone will have to accept this currency. If somebody does not accept this currency, put him into jail. So what the government did was, without backing it up with any gold or any value, it started printing the currency just by saying that it is backed by the trust of the government. So this was, I won't say blunder, but this was not done properly. As I told, that if this is done by keeping in mind the growth of the economy, it is perfectly fine. If you increase the value, if you increase the amount of money without considering the growth or increase or decrease in growth of the size of the economy, it is going to create problems. The same thing happened in Venezuela, is happening in Venezuela and Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, the value of currency has gone so down that the government had to print 100 trillion note. 100 trillion note, that is, 100 trillion means 15 zeros after 1. 100 trillion note the government has to print, and the Zimbabwean currency has got no value, absolutely no value. And now Zimbabwe people are forced to use US dollar as their currency, because US dollar has got a value and US dollar can be used to purchase items. Now the acceptance of the currency, acceptance of the Zimbabwean currency is zero. People are not accepting it as a currency. And second, it is not rare, because so many notes have been printed by the government that it is no longer rare, it is as good as sand. Mitti ban gaya. Aisa mitti ban gaya. So this is the issue if you print currency indiscriminately without calculating the real requirement of the currency. Now coming to why our currency is going down and up and all. Okay, that we will discuss in the next class. Again, so contemplate on what we told, contemplate on what this class is. Okay. What would be the issues that might come if a currency becomes too large in circulation, too much currency is printed? What would happen if too less currency is printed? All these things you just think through, and we will discuss more in our next